Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night. We bring you the very best of what happens in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Jam-packed show tonight. We were of course over the weekend out at Hands and Hearts against Hamlets. Last week at City Park it was the best met trials for the juniors as they come through the ranks at Western Province, and of course it was the mini rugby day at Belleville on Saturday. So a lot of action. Big thanks to Hisense that has come on board with Cape Rugby TV as the technical partner. Score Energy Drinks on board with Cape Rugby TV, as well as with Western Province Club Rugby and Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road, and of course Colourtone Paints. Welcome to Colourtone. In fact, you see the logo. It was, in fact, folks, for those of you that don't know, Colourtone was one of our very, very first supporters here at Cape Rugby TV, and fantastic to have Ray and the boys back on. Some great prizes coming up during the course of the show. Stick around for that. So you win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, and you can also win yourself a Hisense 40-inch smart TV, courtesy of Best Med. That competition comes up a little bit later in the show. Let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Danny Jones, the General Manager of Western Province Rugby Football Union. Mr. Jones, welcome back.
Thank you, JP. It's good to be back. Good evening, listeners. We hope we have a good time with him.
Yeah, no, well, it's going to be jam-packed. Bobby Joubert, coach extraordinaire, head coach at Durban, and leader of all sport. I like to build it up nowadays. Bobby, welcome back.
Thank you, JP. Great to be back.
Lekker, man, lekker. Right, folks, we might as well get the ball rolling straight away because it's so much rugby on the cards at the moment. A lot of action from the youth through to the clubs, and of course some other interesting information relating to some of the international teams that have been visiting us as well. So let's get started straight away. It was Hands and Hearts up against Hamlets with home ground advantage to Hands and Hearts. Welcome back, everybody. Right, Hands and Hearts against Hamlets. Mr. Jones, you were out at the game there on Saturday. I believe that there were, well, we could see it. Hands and Hearts always so many fans.
Yes, no, JP. I must firstly commend both clubs for attracting great support. And I want to thank the supporters of all our clubs.
I believe you at the
Thank
General
you for coming
Council,
out there.
Apparently at the General Council meeting on Monday, you mentioned that to the clubs, like
No, we did, because we do believe that it's very important, you know, what the supporters do, and their support for the clubs is vital, and we are achieving that. So I want to thank them.
All right, let's go to the game itself. I mean, obviously some quality rugby there. We always see quality running rugby from Hands and Hearts and Hamlets. And you can see these two teams were going at it hammer and tong.
Look, they well coached. Gavin Parsons at Hamlets and obviously Meneer Adams at Hands and Hearts. Hy's 'n ou lank in die tand soos hulle sê.
Peter Links has of course moved on. Peter's not coaching anymore now. New coaching structure, new management structure.
New management structure,
oh,
and
new.
So, but I want to commend both of them. It was great running rugby in the true Western Province tradition of getting the ball to the wing, spreading it wide, full of excitement. We bless JP with what is happening with regard to rugby. And I also want to say thank you to the show. The show has done tremendous work in getting rugby into homes of people. Yes. And they obviously reciprocate by coming to us on a Saturday.
We just got to keep doing it. In fact, it's time for us to take it to a next level now. We're going to have to think of new and more things to add on. Bobby, let's talk about the rugby itself. Great running rugby there. Looking at the first half, it looked to me like the guys were really straightening the line. I mean, we saw one try under the poles. We saw a great handoff there from Adrian February from Hamlets. Again, the back lines are really coming into action.
Great explosive rugby, and I don't think you expect anything less from Western Province clubs. If I look at the Hands and Hearts team, Fabian van der Vent, Vivian Fredericks, good players on the Hamlets team, Keenan Ockers and Diego Orense, those are quality guys in the back line. Yeah. And that's why you get those results and performances on the field.
All right, let's take a look at the second half highlights now. Of course, the advantage went, well, not the advantage, but the points ended up going to Hamlets, but it was down to the wire. Bobby, at the end it went to Hamlets 43-41. Your feeling on the second half?
High scoring game, very explosive, crowd pleaser. Yeah. Great rugby.
All right, folks, we're going to take an ad break now. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at what the coaches and captains had to say. But before we do that, let me just remind you that the option for you to win a Hisense 40-inch TV is now brought to you courtesy of BestMed. BestMed is, of course, on board with Western Province Rugby as the official sponsor to the Western Province Rugby School of Excellence, right? So if you want to improve your medical aid and you want to win yourself a Hisense 40-inch smart TV with built-in Wi-Fi, 2 HDMI connectors, Netflix, YouTube, and Google Play Store apps that are available, then all you need to do is SMS the word BestMed to 33090. All right, this is all about improving your medical aid. So if you want to get a quote on your medical aid and improving the cost of your medical aid and perhaps signing up for medical aid, then SMS the word BestMed and someone from BestMed will give you a call and you can stand a chance to win a Hisense 40-inch smart TV. We'll take an ad break, and when we come back, we'll take a look at what the coaches and captains had to say after the game between Hands and Hearts and Hamlets. Right, welcome back everybody. Of course, our feature match of the game was Hands and Hearts against Hamlets. It was home ground advantage for Hands and Hearts. It was a win for Hamlets, 43-41. Fantastic rugby there. Fields are looking a little bit dry, but hopefully we'll get, hopefully, we pray that we'll get rain in the next couple of weeks to start filling up the dam levels. And everybody's struggling out there at the moment with how dry the fields are. So every time we see a try or a ruck or a maul, you just see dust. And it's not only at the game that we were just at. But we managed to speak now to the captains and coaches. Of course, Henry Adams is the head coach at Hands and Hearts, and Frans Witbooi. But let's first speak to Henry Adams from Hands and Hearts.
Weet jy, ons het hom verwag en tot nou toe het ons nogal het maklik gehad, maar die kompetisie was vandag baie kompeterend en jy weet het kon anders gewees het vandag die uitslag, maar regtig maar dit berei ons ouetjies net voor vir wat nog op pad is om te kom. Ja, weet jy, die telling vlei ons ook vlei so die oppositie dink ek, want op hierdie stadium as ek kyk hoeveel foute het ons gemaak het. Foute wat oorgegaan het in drieë en wat nooit moes gewees het nie. En ek het byvoorbeeld getel 3 van daai drieë wat gedruk is soms eie foute wat ons gemaak het. Want dit binne in ons rooi sone en hulle natuurlik in hulle groen sone. So maar ek bo alles dit as ek trots op hierdie seuns, hierdie manne is regtig hulle het gewys. Ons het op die tweede helfte gevra, luister, ek gee ons hy fighting spirit en hierdie manne het hy fighting spirit kom gee. En soos ons sê, op die einde van die dag is die telbord die wenner. Ons speel volgende week teen Rangers. Ons gaan kyk na ons probleemareas, want die probleemareas definitief ons ingooi in die lyn staan en gaan kyk hoe ons dit kan verbeter en dit moet verbeter. En natuurlik het ons vandag ons minder ons agterspelers gebruik. Ons het meer ons voorspelers gebruik vandag.
Welcome back, folks. Right, Henry Adams, of course, the head coach there at Hands and Hearts. Danny, he's been around in Western Province for quite a while now. Certainly has carried on with the momentum of Hands and Hearts, and it looks like he's got a very good understanding of how things work at Hands and Hearts.
Definitely, he has been there before. He is very experienced, and he brings all that experience to Hands and Hearts, and you can see they were unfortunate to lose, but they played a good game of rugby, and it's about that. Opposition took their chances and won on the day, but Hands and Hearts doesn't have to stand back for anyone.
Yeah, Bobby, listening to Henry there, he's talking about some very intelligent things in terms of the coaching stuff. Made a few mistakes. He knows where they went wrong. Go back to the drawing board. Well, that kind of thing. Is already thinking about the next game. Our coaches seem to have like a fairly high intelligence of rugby. I mean, he's saying all the right things there.
You can see he's a very experienced coach. It's good to be realistic and go back on a Sunday and a Monday to look at your mistakes.
Yeah.
A week is a short time to turn it around. You know, they say you've got a whole week to prepare for the 40 minutes, and you've got 5 minutes to prepare for the next 40.
Right, yeah, isn't that true? Francois Witbooi is, of course, the captain of Hands and Hearts. Did you hear what he has to say?
Van my as kaptein was die game baie hard. Ek noem dit 'n tweede derby. Elke span het gekom en elkeen wou kom om te kom wen. En ek moet sê die boys het hulle true fighting spirit gewys. 'n Jong span, maar congrats aan Hamlets. Ja nee, ons het geweet die Hamlets is 'n haakspel en hulle weet van ons en Hearts ook ons wou hulle probeer voorhou het, maar hulle het ons outplay by foute wat ons gemaak het en hulle het punte opgesit, maar tweede helfte het ons begin 'n bal draai en ons kon sien as ons 'n voorhou en hulle dink ons gaan agter bal gee, sal ons hulle verras en ons het teruggebeklei. Ja, tweede helfte was die boodskap van die coaches af fighting spirit ouens. Ons met die bal hou voor en ons het exactly dit gedoen. Dis hoekom ons teruggebeklei is, ons het nooit opgegee nie. Dis hoekom ek sê baie dankie vir die boys. As back to the drawing board, Dinsdae by mekaar kom, of gaan meer werk aan ons defense en kan Saterdag kry ons vir Rangers, so ons sal baie sterk voorberei deur ons coaches, ons defense coaches, ons fixing coach, so ons sal hard werk die week.
Francois Witboy is, of course, the captain at Hands and Hearts and plays at number 7, or at least number 6, at least, open flank, leading from the front there. We managed to speak to Gavin Passons, head coach at Hamlets.
Yes, dit was tough, hè. Ek het vir ons in 'n week gesê, dit was altyd moeilik as jy Hands and Hearts toe kom. En ons in Hands and Hearts het 'n groot geskiedenis en dit gaan nie maklik. Ek het vir hulle gesê dit gaan nie maklik wees hierson nie. Ons sal speel vir tot op die laaste 80 minute. En by die einde van die dag was hy die result tot die laaste 80 minute die game kon enige kant toe gegaan het. Ja, travelling speel definitief effekte. As jy kyk, ons manne is al vanoggend seker 10 uur uit die huis uit en die bus het 11 uur gehuis. Hy hier by die vertrek uit Mamre uit. En by die einde van die dag het die ouens nog steeds opgestaan. En deur hy moegheid het hulle gespeel en die results was daar. Ja, ek is regtig trots op die players. Hulle sit baie in deur die week. Ons oefen wel 2 aane vir 'n week, maar die intensiteit is baie hoog om die ouens altyd op hy vlak te hou en altyd positief te hou is 'n seer maklike jobbie, maar aan die einde dag is ek baie trots op ons spectators. Hulle staan bankvas agter die span. En ek saluut vir hulle, regtig waar. Dinsdag het ons maar weer tekenbord toe en daar word hulle gedrill. Ons kyk hier, ons vat dit maar game vir game. Die volgende game is St. George's en ons kyk net na hulle, ons kyk hier na die ander span en ons vat hom maar soos dit kom.
Gavin Passons, head coach at Hamlets. Jerome, the Hamlets train keeps... Jerome, Danny. The Hamlets train keeps on rolling. For me, probably one of the biggest memories of Hamlets in the last 12 months is 11 or 12 buses arriving at Newlands last year and so many thousand fans. Certainly the Hamlet fans travel with the team and adds to the gears. For a club that is far out of Cape Town and generally struggles with resources, having that fan base is quite important.
The Barcelona of Western Province Rugby, no doubt about it, JP. They have great support, and one needs to commend the community of Hamlets. I was telling somebody the other day, it seems that they're like Kaiser Chiefs, you know. Every game is a home game because they are with this amount of support that goes with them. They actually sometimes in many games they have more support at the other teams.
Than the home team.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Gavin Passons is doing a great job, Robert.
Great. Knowing Gavin Passons, he's one of those coaches, you know, he makes not only the difference at club level, but also in the community, in youth levels. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's always knocking around. He's always knocking around with the guys, trying to find ways to get sports nutrition supplements for the guys. He's always looking for sponsorship. He's really involved as a coach. I mean, that's the job of a coach, actually. You can't just coach rugby. When you go to a community club and you're a coach, you must be invested.
Definitely. There needs to be a sustainability plan when you're a coach. So you need to look after your players. They're not only rugby players. It's more to it, especially at club level.
Yeah, no, 100%. All right, folks. Bryn Gericke is, of course, the captain of Hamlets. Let's hear what he has to say.
Ja, het baie gevat van die ouens, ons is baie getap geweest, maar dis Hands and Hearts. Jaar na jaar, wat die jare uitkom, gee hulle ons altyd 'n tough game. Selfs daar by ons, maar op enige dag vat ons die punte. Dan was 'n lekker game geweest. Ja, baie ouens, baie harde werk in die agtergrond en die coach het ook self baie werk en die wen was vir hom geweest, want hy het vir ons voor die game gesê dat hy wil nie verloor in Hands and Hearts nie. Maar ons gameplan het 'n bietjie gechange vandag, maar volgende week gaan ons hom weer vat na 'n ander level toe. Nee, vir ons het baie hoop daar, maar soos dit kom, vat ons plan vorentoe en ons vat dit game vir game, week na week. Ons kan nie uitkyk na 'n ander game wat nog ver voor lê nie, maar ja, elke week sit ons harde werk in en dan kyk ons maar net week vir week of ons kry op die dag en wat die dag voor toelaat, dan speel ons maar net.
Bryn Gericke, of course, the captain at Hamlets, doing a fantastic job there, plays centre at Hamlets and certainly leading from the front. Folks, we're going to take an ad break, and when we come back from the break, we'll take a look at what happened in Super League C, at least in Super League A over the weekend. I think last week, Wednesday, was certainly a very, very close result for one of the teams that is doing so well in Super League A. We'll be back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. All right, Cape Rugby TV. We talk about rugby in Western Province, Club Rugby. Remember, hashtag #WP Club Rugby to share all the information. You just heard from Mr. Jones about how big and popular Club Rugby is. Now we want to make that better. And one way to do that is if everybody communicates all the time on the same channel. And the easiest way to do that is use the hashtag #WP Club Rugby. We'll pick it up on Instagram, we'll pick it up on Facebook, we'll pick it up on Twitter, we'll pick it up on YouTube. Wherever you are, when you talk about Western Province Club Rugby, #WP Club Rugby. And that way we'll be able to share all the content so much better. All right, let's take a look now at the results from Super League A over the weekend. And also, of course, we know that there was some interesting result last week, Wednesday. But let's focus on the weekend for now. NTK, it was a 36-17 win for NTK, at least for Vix over NTK. Tygerberg 21-7 over Falls Bay, 53-13 over Union Mill. Primrose went down to Hamilton's 55-6. SK Warmers beating UWC 27-23, and it was Stellenbosch Marties beating UCT 52 points to 19. Bobby, let's start with you there. Let's go back a week. Marties, False Bay. It was all to play for. I don't know how many you were on the show. I think together with Jono van der Walt. False Bay really have had have had a successful run for a long time. But the one team that they just haven't pipped was Marties. 1 point win for them for Marties over False Bay. That must be a devastating loss for Jono and the boys.
Yes, I don't think it's ideal for Jono.
No debating. Just
yes. Yes. But look, beating Marties is a great honour. You know, Marties is still Marties. They've got 1,000 players to choose from, and they're still the elite club in Western Cape. So to tip Marties, you need to be on par.
That's the one that everyone. Danny, if you want to put a tick name next to your name, is that the team to beat?
Well, they have the track record of being the champs for quite a number of years. So obviously Falls Bay pipped them last year. But I do think that Falls Bay to beat Marties on any given Sunday is a tough task. To beat Marties at the Danny Craven Stadium, it's a huge task.
And
to lose by 1 point on a Wednesday. We know these are amateur players, so half of that team is working, or not 3/4 of them are working, and then to pick up the boots and play speaks wonders speak wonders of the competitiveness of the club rugby that we are having.
You also went to the Brackenfell Tygerberg game over the weekend. It was a win for Tygerberg, 21-7 over Brackenfell. But by all records that have come in, this was a heck of a game.
It was, and I'm very proud of the way Brackenfell. Brackenfell, to me, I thought, soos hulle sê, they would be the slaansakker coming up from Super League Super League B to Super League A. They are surprising a number of teams. They gave Bobby them. Have they played you, Bobby? No, not yet. But I'm saying that they gave most of the teams a real scare. I know Hammy's too. But they were quite good on Saturday. I really was surprised by the structures that's there. Yes. I'm very happy with what's happening at Brackenfell on the field, and it bodes well. I'm waiting for that game, Brackenfell versus Durban. It has its own intrigue, but yeah.
Will that be a bit of a derby match for you? I don't know. I'm not quite sure why Mr. Jones is saying that's going to be the. What's the story behind that?
It's always a derby. Just across the highway, and we've got a pre-season game that's a derby. That's a fixture. So I think it's going to be a biggie at Durban this year.
JP, it's a Boerenbos derby.
Is that the Boerenbos derby? Right. SK Warmers 27-23 over UWC. SK Warmers has been getting stronger and stronger by the week.
Yes.
But this is a good turnaround for UWC. They've had some bad results, and to put 23 points on the board against SK Warmers, they must have done really well.
Yeah, I think it's a good result for SK. Coming from a loss against Durban the week before, this is a good result for SK. They needed that.
Another team that seemed to be lifting the spirits a little bit is UCT. Looking at the social media feeds on Saturday, UCT were in fact in the lead against Marties for a good part of the game. In fact, I think they went into the half. I'm speaking in a correction. They went close to the half time, leading. This is UCT, which, as I said, the wheels have come off a little bit. But looking at their performance on Saturday, coming up against Marties, and then Marties eventually winning it, it does look like UCT are also gaining a bit of momentum now.
Yeah, it's not good for Western Province Rugby if UCT is struggling. I think it's important for us, as a union, for UCT to do well. It's good to see that they're making a comeback.
And then, of course, the other win that's interesting is the False Bay beating Milnerton. Now, Milnerton had a Wednesday game, another game on Saturday. Ishmael Dali taking 50 points against Hammies. At least, where am I? I've lost track here. Against False Bay. These mix-ups. Ish will be bitterly disappointed with that, Danny, but you've got to play the strategic game during the season.
Welcome to Super League A.
Yeah.
All I can say, yeah, no, definitely. Look, Union Miller is a very good side.
Yeah.
They've showed last year. They also have some good wins this year. But there's some big boys in the Super League A.
Yeah.
And you have to come, as Bobby said, you can't fall asleep. Anybody can beat anybody on the day, and you have to come prepared and well prepared to give a good account of yourself. And as you said, the UCT Marty's game, UCT was in it until a point. So rugby is 80 minutes. If you're not up for 80 minutes, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, well, from what I understand, the False Bay Marty's game was more like 86 minutes. Apparently, it was quite a long game. Let's take a look at photographs that have come in. Always nice to see some of the pictures that have come in. Brackenfell, of course, Tigerberg. Nice little line-out jump there from Brackenfell. Of course, Tigerberg winning there 21 points to 7. And a nice action shot here of the False Bay against Union Mill, 53-3. Then Hammies, of course, against Primrose. Primrose also putting their hand up a little bit this season, 55-6 win there. I think that's Neil Penthorpe in action there. Right, folks, as I reminded you earlier on, if you want to win yourself, in fact, if you want to take a look at your medical aid, you want to save cost on medical aid or perhaps sign up for medical aid and put yourself in line to win a Hisense 40-inch smart TV, then all you need to do is SMS the word BestMed. Get your phones handy now. SMS the word BestMed, the keyword, to 33090, and you stand a chance to win a Hisense 40-inch TV. And one of the reps from BestMed will give you a call. All right. So if you want to save money on medical aid, if you want to sign up for medical aid, BestMed is the place to go. They're of course on board with the Western Province Rugby Institute, supporting the institute, and are here to look after your medical aid requirements. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back, we'll move to Super League B. We've also got highlights from City Park and the mini rugby day over the weekend, of which I believe there were close on 4,000 kids. So back in a sec. All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look now at the results in Super League B. It was Collegians with a loss against Helderberg, 32-18. Hands and Hearts, as you know, went down to Hamlet. A win for Paarl over Young People, 17-10. Rangers went down to Violets, 34-23. Cracker of a game. Derby match, 34-23. We know that Rashid Isaacs was out there taking some photographs, so that massive game there. A draw for Solarians against Belleville. St. George's, 36-24. And then Villagers beating Franschhoek, 33-28. Let's look at some of those games. The ones that jumps out for me there is Violets and Rangers. Obviously, a bit of a derby match there. And you would imagine that the fans were out there in droves. So again, that was a newspaper, I think in the People's Post, a newspaper game. So well done again to Rashid Isaacs for getting coverage for the game there. So Violets Violets up against Kales River this weekend. So it's going to be a cracker at Jachtershof this weekend. Violets really pulling a rabbit out the hat there and doing really well. Solarians and Belleville. Solarians, Danny, they've had a bit of a negative run, haven't done so well. They're on the up now. All of a sudden, looks like they've got the bit between the teeth because Belleville is a dangerous side on any given day.
Absolutely, and I want to commend the management at Solarians
Yeah.
for getting things right. I know there was tough in the beginning, but I think under the leadership of the Lins, a lot of good things are happening, and well done to them.
Let's just touch on that for a second. This is now 2 ladies presidents. We've got a ladies president at Hands and Hearts. We've got a ladies president at Solarians, and you've probably got a few more, but these are 2 ladies that are making a big effort at club level. And on Monday night, you announced to the board at the union, Shamima Suleiman has now been appointed onto the Exco at Western Province Rugby. Women's rugby and the administration of rugby by a woman seems like it's getting a bit more attention.
Definitely, JP. Rugby is a sport for everyone, and the nice thing about the women that you mentioned, they're all involved in the men's side of things, not women's rugby with regard to women. So they've won their spurs by getting involved in the heart of rugby,
Yeah.
irrespective of the gender. And they've come through. And I want to commend Council for showing leadership by electing Ms. Sulaiman to the Exco.
But this is also something that will inspire at ground level more girls to start playing rugby, potentially leading to more women's rugby clubs. Because you need that leadership to be in that position to inspire the younger generation and perhaps women out there who say, well, it's not a place for me.
You know, JP, women in sport by default has always had there's always been challenges, and so with regard to women's in the rugby, there are always challenges. But I'm very happy with the way we're going about that. Women are staking their claim in society and in rugby, and these great officials are coming through and being recognised to administer rugby at the highest level in the province.
Well, I think the gauntlet has now been thrown down for women and girls out there. Get involved in sport, get involved in rugby, get involved in the administration of the sport. If you're not actually playing, get involved in the administration. We're desperately short on women administrators in sport. All right, let's move along then into Super League. Well, let's quickly take a look at some of the photographs that have come in here. This was, of course, Violets Rangers, 34-23 win for Violets. Nice action picture there. Of course, Franschhoek and Villagers. This was home game advantage for Villagers with a good win there for the boys. And in Super League C, it was 38-12 a win for Busy Bees over Carlamore. Elsies River going down to All Saints, 36 points to 20. Goodwood, 25-15 over Langa. Lagunya going down to Wraithby. Macassar, 48-22 over Hamadia. Scottsdene with a very close loss to Vineyards. And then Strand United beating Young Stars by just 1 point. Well, let's move on straight into the other divisions now. Folks, in City League, we'll see that it's Masi Pumulele who came away with, unfortunately, a narrow loss there against Manenberg Rangers. Perseverance going down to Police, 62 points to 20. Tech going down to Young Ideas. It was a win for Temperance and Cities over Progress. Watsonia went down to Silvertree. Western Zebras with a 5-point win over Caledonia Rose, 17-12. And then in the Southern League, Thistles beating Atlantis. It was a win for Young Brothers by 1 point over Bishop Lavis. Retreat 25-19 over Peninsula. And then Young Wesley's 46-17 over Titans. In the Northern League, a win for Van der Stel. It was a win for Eerste Rivier, a win for Blue Stars, and a win for Whistling Wheels. While in the Paarl League, Young Gardens pulled one off over Lower Paarl, 16 points to 8. A win for Paarl Rangers, a win for Windmill United over Albions, and then Riverstones beating Young Stars 30 points to 11. All right, folks, as you know, Score Energy Drinks is, of course, on board with Cape Rugby TV. And if you want to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, all you need to do is now get your Hisense cell phones handy and SMS the word SCORE to 33090, 33090, and win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks. Congratulations to last week's winner, Solomon Balata. Solomon walks away with a case of Score Energy Drinks. Right, as you know, last week it was the trials over at City Park for the under 16s and the under 18s. A lot of action there. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the kids in action at City Park last week, Wednesday.
The following Western Province Rugby School of Excellence insert is brought to you by BestMed. Be active, be safe, be happy, be Nutri-Wise, be fit. The following Western Province Rugby School of Excellence insert is brought to you by BestMed. Be active, be safe, be happy, be Nutri-Wise, be fin-fit.
All action there at City Park. We managed to speak quickly to Sean Erasmus. He is the coach of the under-16s.
The following Western Province Rugby School of Excellence insert is brought to you by BestMed. Be active, be safe, be happy, be Nutri-Wise, be fin-fit.
Yeah, the trial's been really good, and we've seen some really exciting talent. As we move along with the trial process, the talent sort of just keeps showing itself, and it's nice to be able to see just how much talent the Western Cape really has. Well, we cover the whole province, so it's quite a number of schools, from your smallest schools to your biggest schools. Yeah, some large boys. Seems that the parents are still sticking with the normal recipe of a good solid breakfast and good meals, but yeah, there's some nice boys and nice size. Yeah, I think it's very hard always making sure that you get the right amount of talent in the team. We've only got so many jerseys to hand out, but I think we've got a really good group of selectors and provincial conveners that are helping us all the way from the top sort of professional level all the way down, helping us make sure that we pick the right talent. Well, after this set of trials, the selectors will sit down and pick a number of teams that will compete in the next final, basically very close to the final round of trials before we start getting together as a provincial outfit.
The following Western Province Rugby School of Excellence insert is brought to you by BestMed. Be active, be safe, be happy, be Nutri-Wise, be fin-fit.
It is, of course, the trials for the under-16s and the under-18s currently underway. The Western Province Rugby School of Excellence, sponsored by BestMed. And remember, if you want to get a quote on your medical aid, then just SMS the word BestMed to 33090. You can put yourself in the mix to win a Hisense smart TV, and somebody from BestMed will give you a call as soon as possible. Danny, Sean Erasmus is doing a great job with the under-16s at the moment.
Definitely, JP. He's doing well with his school also, Paul Boys, as well as he's part of the SA under-18 or under-19 group. So yeah, Sean has lots of experience, and that has helped the school, and it has helped our under-16 component. So yeah, we're quite happy to have Sean in our systems.
Wilfred Cupido is the manager of the Western Province Rugby School of Excellence. Let's see what he had to say after the trials.
The following Western Province Rugby School of Excellence insert is brought to you by BestMed. Be active, be safe, be happy, be Nutri-Wise, be fin-fit.
Is eintlik vandag is eintlik 'n heugelijke dag in die dames op die kalender van die WP skole, waar al die talente tentoongestel word vir proewe vir die Grand Como onder 16 en die onder 18 akademiespan en die Krevenweekspan. Ja, dit werk so, ons stel 'n elite squad saam, maar almal moet weer in die volgende jaar proewe speel. So almal is op gelyke vlak, so hulle moet meeding vir 'n plek in die provinsiale skolespanne. Ja, hier vanaand af het ons nog 'n stel proewe by Bellville, waar ons dan spanne saamstel om teen Boland te speel, wat ook deel is van ons proewe kalender. En vandaar gaan ons na die Bondedag op Oudtshoorn, waarna die finale spanne saamgestel word vir die provinsiale skole toernooie. Die Grand Como is die tweede week in die skoolvakansie, in die Julie skoolvakansie. Ja, en dit word gehou te Grey Bloemfontein. Ja, kyk, ek moet sê ons is geseënd in die Weskamp met goeie talent, en die oudjies is vanjaar buitengewoon groot voorspelers en baie skillful backs. En dit is baie moeilik vir keerders om die beste ouens te kies, so jy moet on top of the game wees as 'n keerder.
The following Western Province Rugby School of Excellence insert is brought to you by BestMed. Be active, be safe, be happy, be Nutri-Wise, be fin-fit.
Right, welcome back, everybody. Yeah, the trials underway, of course, at Western Province Rugby for the under-16s and the under-18s, and with the amount of youth that we've got at Western Province Rugby, it really is doing well. One of the things, of course, that's doing really well at Western Province Rugby also is the mini rugby, the kids. which are much, much younger than the under 16s. We'll take a look at that after the break. But let me just remind you that Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road has come on board with Cape Rugby TV. Now, if you want to get yourself sorted out with any form of specs, from color to tinting, you get Dulux Maitland to come out to your construction site or to your house. They'll give you a free quote, and they'll also help you spec the job so that you know exactly how much paint to buy for your job, and you don't spend unnecessary money on paint. You know exactly how many liters you would need to buy. Now, of course, if you go down to Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road, you can enter there to win yourself a constructor's trailer, one of those trailers that you put on the back of your bakkie, so to speak, and put all your construction needs into that trailer. So number 30 Coburg Road, Dulux Maitland, they'll look after all of your needs, and look out for the Rock Grip range there. Fantastic products at the absolute best prices. They really are the guys that will help you out immediately. So that's Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road. Folks, we'll take an ad break. When we come back, we'll start taking a look at what happened in the mini rugby over at Bellville over the weekend. Well, it is of course Cape Rugby TV every Wednesday, as you know by now. We'll just keep repeating it so you can tell all your friends and family, not that everybody doesn't know already. In fact, folks overseas are watching us on YouTube. Interestingly enough, I was in Japan recently and people came to me and said, I watch your show. I think it's quite incredible how many, and New Zealand, we're getting people all around the world, Danny, they're saying that they watch the show. Bobby, you're famous overseas now.
Thanks, man. Thanks for making me famous, James. I appreciate it.
No, but Edie, okay, we could labour the point and pat ourselves on the back, but we're going to move straight along because it was the Western Province Rugby Football Union mini rugby day on Saturday at Hartier's Bellville. Billed as one of the biggest events at school level in Western Province. More than 3,800 players with 280 teams in 73 different schools. It was an incredible day for mini rugby. Let's catch some of the highlights of the Chokkertjies playing rugby on the field.
Yeah, it's really nice for us to come and share the day with them. Especially after a tough tour, it brings a lot of happiness to us. And I think if we can take it through to next week game, it will be good for us. But I think it's good initiatives for Spur and Western Province to be in partnership with all these people out here, and it's a really nice thing, and I'm all up for it. Yeah.
Het was lekker, ja. Ik heb al reeds 6 games geblazen. Op mijn foto. Het is niet makkelijk. Soms zijn die players luisteren naar jou niet. Van alles nog te klein. Dan die blazen vlieg je 1 keer. En die blazen maar 1. Dan zal er voor jou luisteren. Of je moet die bal gaan nou. Om laten voor jou luisteren. Laat luisteren, ja. Want ik schrik me ook met die kaarten. Dan luisteren voor mij.
Dit is 'n baie lekker dag, maar dit is nie goed vir mense hart hierdie nie.
Yes, the kids really enjoy themselves. They had an opportunity to play against other schools and get exposed to the sport. Yes, this is where the future Springboks are born. So this is a great opportunity for young learners, young athletes aspiring to become rugby players one day.
All right then, mini rugby, Danny. Fantastic to have little kids running around there like that.
Beautiful, JP. All I can say is beautiful. This is part of our legacy. We believe to start young. For me, one of the great sights is the referee. who's about, I'm sure that boy was about 10 years old.
It's perfect opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby, it's a great chance to expose referees where there's less pressure. Okay, there's a few parents screaming on the side, but you've got to blood the refereeing solution sometime.
I've been at a few tournaments and I see Ben Tron there with his school referees facilitating the matches, and the nice thing about it is they the parents don't get involved because it's not a teacher refereeing the game. It's a guy in Western Province kit, and it makes a huge difference, So you take the politics out of it, and those guys develop. It's to create awareness on that level for referees is very important.
I think it's fantastic. So you see some of the other sports like tennis or judo or karate, you'll see young 10-year-olds, 15-year-olds being taught how to referee or umpire a game, and I think it's great. But to get 4,000 kids out at a game, I mean, Danny, it just goes to show that you can imagine that for the next 20 years, you've got a crop of players coming through the ranks.
Well, JP, we believe that's the biggest get-together of junior rugby in South Africa, if not the world.
Yeah.
And we're very happy because these boys are between the age of 7 and 9. Yeah. So we're very happy with what has transpired there. We want to thank all the schools for coming on board, and then obviously the kids and the parents for allowing it to happen. We're happy that the parents are still seeing rugby as an extremely viable way for sport and for the kids to get involved and become adults.
Let's move along now. There's of course the coaches out there that had a few things to say to us over the weekend. Coaches and friends of Cape Rugby TV. First quote that came in was from Munib Levy over at SK Warmers, of course, also on the board at Western Province Rugby. He says it's a big one this weekend. SK Warmers are up against Tira, Battle of the Giants. And then Philip Daniels from Young Wesley says, the Wesley's boys once again on the winning spirit. Keep it up, boys. You guys are always making us proud, and every game is a final for us. Go Wesley, boys. Mario Williams from Young Garden sent us the message saying the win against Paarl, or Lower Paarl at least, ignited a new energy amongst the Young Gardens players. And then Mike Cross from False Bay Rugby Football Club went on to say good wins for all the Bay teams this past weekend. Only the under-20 reserve side coming unstuck against UCT. Well, nice to get the quotes in there from the coaches and members of the community of Club Rugby. It helps us tell the world of Club Rugby who you are, especially you as administrators that have been involved in Club Rugby for so long. I know, Bobby, you sent us a quote in as well, but you're here because you guys played against Kenya on Tuesday, so on Wednesday. But,
last night.
I'm not going to get into that right now. We're running a bit short on time. Let's quickly look at the fixtures over the weekend. In Super League A, it's Belhar up against Hamiltons over the weekend. Brackenfell take on Union Mill, NTK, UWC, Primrose and UCT. Tygerberg and SK Warmers. That must be one of the games of the weekend. Tygerberg and SK Warmers. All right, in Super League B, Collegians and Franschhoek. Kuilsriver take on Violets. Oh, there's going to be a monster game as well. Kuilsriver and Violets. Rangers and Hands and Hearts. St. George's and Hamlets, Villagers and Paarl. In Super League C, we see All Saints against Lagunya, Hamadias and Wraithby. Carlamore take on Strand United. Vineyards and Goodwood, Young Stars and Elsies. City League sees Callies and Temperance, Progress and Police, Silvertree and Perseverance, Tech against Watsonia, and Young Ideas up against Manenberg Rangers. In the Northern League, it's Blue Jets and Imikawi, Esterrivier and Delft, Strand Pioneers and Blakes, Van der Stel against Blue Stars, Whistling Wheels take on Stelkor, while in the Southern League, Noordlikers and Rocklands, Peninsula Atlantis, Thistle, Silverleaf, Young Brothers, and Titans, Young Wesleys, and a Retreat. All right, folks, that is a wrap from us for the fixtures and us here at Cape Rugby TV. It's going to be some monster games. Look out for that game. Kuilsriver up against Violets. And there are a couple of very other interesting, very big fixtures coming up on the weekend. Mr. Jones, Danny Jones from Cape Rugby TV, lekker to have you on the show. As always, we should turn this into a 2-hour show.
It was a pleasure, JP, meet you. Absolutely.
We just don't have enough time. Bobby, I know that you had to race to work. We missed Morgan Newman on the show today. You got to chase out, and I know you took out precious time out of your day. I want to say big thanks for coming out here today, and always a pleasure having you on the show.
Great, JP. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, so you can tell the people you're late for a meeting. It's my fault.
Definitely.
All right, folks, that's a wrap, of course, from Cape Rugby TV. A big thanks, of course, to Colourtone once again that has come on board as Cape Rugby TV. Colourtone will look after your timber treatments, rust coatings, paint stripping, and, of course, if those of you that can't remember, Colourtone, of course, do the line marking around the southern fields, the white markers. That's a wrap from Cape Rugby TV. Have yourself a fantastic rugby weekend. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.